Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. It is the year 2652. The Scourge continue to scourge. At the end of the last video, our fleets got a nice victory over some Scourge fleets. But before we get into this next video, I realized after I uploaded that last video that I had left out some footage, and then when I looked, it turned out that this stuff had never actually been recorded, so I must have screwed that up somehow. But if you remember in the last video, we colonized this planet, and then during the video there was a point where we discovered that there was a subterranean civilization on this world, another civilization, and so we had the choice of either launching a preemptive strike against them or trying to communicate. I opted to communicate, and that's as far as we got in that video. But actually what happened was that we actually did communicate with them, and then we started having a peaceful relationship, but then some refugees came up to the surface and we gave the refugees some shelter, even though that would lower our relationship with the actual civilization. So that stuff happened, and I didn't get to show it. But meanwhile, like I said, our fleets got a nice victory in this system. We are sending them to repair and reinforce. They're going to go through this gateway and go back to Gossamer. But in the meantime, there is some Scourge debris in that system. So I'm going to get one of my science ships and send them up this way. Hopefully they won't be destroyed. But we're going to get them to research that debris. And then as soon as they're done with that, we will send them all the way back to Alpha Centauri and have them continue helping with research.
Planetary surface settlement established.
We have a brand new colony that's just been established, and I think this is the last planet in our main space there that we can colonize, but it is an official colony now, so let's get started building some generator districts over here. I'm going to get into resource trouble here again in this video, as you will see. Our fleets are being repaired up there in the Gossamer system. But never mind that. Our planet with the underground civilization is now experiencing earthquakes, and it seems like we can go ahead and we can blame that underground civilization. So we have the option to turn the other cheek, or we could demand an apology. I have enough problems with the Scourge, so I think I'm just going to turn the other cheek and see how this plays out. I don't want to turn these guys hostile if I can help it, so we will turn the other cheek. Our science ship safely reached the Scourge debris, and so we're going to get started scanning this. The Scourge have some interesting technology, including Scourge missiles, which are quite powerful. I'm not sure it will make a difference if we get them. I'm still pretty pessimistic about how this is going to turn out in the end, but I'm not giving up, and so hopefully we can acquire the Scourge missiles and maybe some other technology that the Scourge might have that could be useful. Then I'll have to update my ship designs and build some new ships. But meanwhile, the science ship is done with their project and they are heading home. I think it's time for our fleets to get back into the action, so I'm going to have my main group of battleships lead the way, and then we'll have our corvettes and our other battleships follow. I didn't realize it in that video, but we already lost our brand new alien cruiser that we found, so that ship is gone. But we still have a bunch of corvettes and a bunch of battleships, and we are going to bring them up this way, but we need to be careful because there are definitely some large groups of Scourge in the area. I think we could take this bunch out, no problem. Not worried about them, but over here, just one more system over, we've got two big groups of Scourge, and we might be able to defeat one of these, but not both of them. So I have to be really careful not to be ambushed. And our ships set out on their valiant mission.
Hostile stationary asset engaged.
Our friends, the Sentinels, are bombarding a planet, but meanwhile the Scourge are approaching. And also meanwhile, our ships are entering this system.
Alert, spaceport engaged. Alert, spaceport engaged.
Yet another Sentinel fleet has been sadly destroyed, which is depressing. But speaking of pressing, we will press on into Scourge space. But as we moved over to another system, another Scourge fleet appeared behind us, apparently through a gateway. It looks like we could probably defeat this fleet pretty easily, so I'm going to turn around and attack them. But before I can get there, they go back through the gateway. And never mind that for the moment, because we have found an undetonated nuclear bomb on one of our settlements. The timer has been activated. It is too unstable to move. So we have a special project to disarm the nuclear bomb. So we'll get started on that. I didn't notice it at the time, but apparently there's some more Scourge debris in two different systems, and maybe I should have sent my science ship over this way, but who knows, it might have been too dangerous. But meanwhile, the fleet we were following has jumped all the way over here through that gateway, and it looks like there are enough Scourge here that I don't want to take a chance jumping into that system. So we're going to divert over here and attack this Scourge outpost. So we've knocked out a few Scourge outposts, but now we are getting close to where those big fleets are kind of flying around. So I'm going to bring our fleets down this way. I'm not sure what good this does, really. If somebody would like to let me know, that would be very helpful. I feel like destroying the Scourge ships is the most important thing. But if nothing else, I would like to knock out some outposts. Meanwhile, our parallel dimension counterparts are doing a little bit better over there, so that's good. Our fleets flew close by a bunch of Scourge. We might have been able to take them on, I don't really know. But they are leaving the system as we are leaving the system. Meanwhile, in the Senate, I think the integrated gardens proposal was shot down. And I thought that focusing on the Pretheran Scourge would be next, but now they want to vote on repealing the readied shield. I don't know what the Senate is doing. We have another opportunity to activate our Pretheran Queen, and so now we have a new small fleet of Pretheran at Earth. Another loyal brood So I'm going to bring them down this way where the rest of my brethren are hanging out. They're very slow, these brethren. That's why they're not flying around with my ships.
Alert. Hostile fleet assets detected. Alert. Mining station deconstructed.
The Scourge continues to scourge, but hold everything. We have found a derelict space station in orbit over one of our new colonies. There are mummified remains inside, and apparently there was a war on this planet at some point in the past, and these people or creatures were stranded up here in this space station. Very sad, but very cool. It's a good find. We got some engineering research. This is obviously intriguing, but yeah, no special project to do. Nothing, no further decisions to make, which is always good because, as we all know, I make terrible decisions.
Special project complete.
Here's some good news. We managed to disarm the nuclear bomb, so our new colony is safe for the moment. Meanwhile, our fleets were about to attack an outpost when some Scourge fleets entered the system. So we got into a battle here, and at first I thought it looked like a small group of Scourge. But then when I zoomed in, it became obvious that it was a much larger bunch of Scourge than I thought. So we are losing a few ships here, but not as many as the Scourge. So that's good. And it's so good that we got an incoming transmission from the Sentinels, and they apparently have noticed our valiant struggle against the Scourge. And I guess we have destroyed enough of the Scourge that the Sentinels are impressed, and they are offering to give us a fleet if we promise to only use it against the Scourge. So we could make that promise, we could refuse, but we are going to make that promise. And so I thought, all right, this is great. We're losing some ships here, but now we have some Scourge, some Sentinel ships to replace those lost ships. So we won the battle, and we're going to go ahead and go over here and attack this outpost. And then we'll take a look at that Sentinel fleet. We won't have any problem with this outpost here. We have some more debris right there. But here they are, the Sentinel fleet, and they're only 14.2K, so not as exciting as I hoped. But we're going to go ahead and take that fleet and move it over toward Gossamer for the moment. And meanwhile, with our other fleets, I don't see any other Scourge fleets around. There's a construction ship here by this outpost, so we'll go here first.
Hostile fleet assets engaged.
And we will make short work of that construction ship and the outpost. Still not seeing any Scourge fleets around, so let's go ahead and go up here. And this won't be a problem. So I'm not sure what good this does. I feel like destroying the Scourge ships is the most important thing. But I don't know if destroying these outposts weakens them in any way, or I guess it might, at the very least, it might distract them from doing other things. So maybe this is doing some good. But I felt like I should go ahead and push a little further into their space before having my ships go repair and reinforce and all that. So let's move down this way. And meanwhile, all of this space over here has been empty for quite a while, and I have not been building new outposts because I feel like maybe the Scourge are attracted to the nearest occupied space, and they seem to be avoiding or ignoring this space. So I haven't done anything with it. I'm not sure how close I can get to them before they start paying attention to it again, but I'm going to go ahead and start building a few outposts here so we can grab some of these resources. And hopefully this will not attract the attention of the Scourge. But meanwhile, let's press further into Scourge space a little bit, shall we? Once again, this outpost by itself will not be a problem. One of our planets is being invaded, unfortunately. But meanwhile, there's some action in the Senate. It's time to vote on repealing the readied shield. I don't even know what this does. I don't even care to look to see what this does. I'm just annoyed that they are doing this instead of focusing on the Scourge. Once again, that is the next item in the queue, but that could change. They might decide to repeal buzzword standardization first. That might be more important. But meanwhile, I decided to push a little bit farther into Scourge space. There are no fleets around that I can see. And then I thought we should go ahead and come back to Gossamer, repair and reinforce. But the route we were given will automatically take us through another few systems. So let's see how that goes.
Planetary invasion alert. Surface control has been compromised.
So we've done some damage to Scourge outposts, and we did destroy one decently sized bunch of ships. But like I said, I don't really know what is the best way to go here. Is it worth it to attack these outposts, or should I just attack the ships exclusively? Meanwhile, I've noticed up at the top of the screen we've got some deficits in our economy again. So I'm going to enact some edicts that will boost our mineral production and our energy credit production. It will reduce our consumer goods upkeep. I think I have another mineral boost here somewhere. And then also I'm going to lower the upkeep for our fleets. And I also realized that I completely forgot to activate the edicts that are related to combat. So we could have been doing better with our combat, because I could have had our weapons do more damage, and we could have had stronger armor. But I completely forgot, because that is just how good I am at this game. But for now, we will enact these edicts. Our ships are on their way back to Gossamer, and I guess I'm going to just leave off here. I'm almost up to 50 clips in this project. But yeah, let me know what you think. Is it worth it to attack the outposts, or should I just throw my fleets at their ships and destroy as many of them as I can? Let me know what you think about that, but we're going to leave off here for now.
assets.
We will pick it up right here in the next video, but for now, as always, thanks very much for watching.